Today's topic is titled More Than Inner Peace. The Earth's crust may appear rock solid, but on an average we experience 200 earthquakes a week, and there are 1500 active volcanoes today. Earthquakes and volcanoes are only minor symptoms of a very turbulent internal core. This is very similar to the layers within us. We have a lot more turbulence in our minds than what is apparent outside. Lasting inner peace is in a great demand today. We try various methods to regain inner peace, but they only seem to last a short time. The moment we get off the meditation session, it's gone. It's not that we didn't try harder. The approach does not address the deeper problem. This outside-in approach to control the mind with mind techniques is not able to penetrate deep enough to fix the problem at the core of our being. Today we will explore a powerful solution that God offers to grant us more than just inner peace. It is peace of God. Before we explore the solution, let's take a moment to identify what is causing this problem. You see, God is a source of true peace, but in our natural state, we are disconnected from God, and so we are not able to have God's peace flow into us. This is like having a fully functional fridge with all its fancy capabilities, but it is not plugged into the power supply. It's basically dead for all practical purposes. We know the fridge is supposed to work, so we try everything to make it work. But it will not work until we reconnect it to the power supply. In the same way, inner peace will not last until we are reconnected with God. Let's not settle for anything less in life. By reconnecting with God, we allow God to give us God's peace that flows inside out as opposed to outside in. Let's examine how God says we can reconnect and become fully functional. This teaching is taken from Jesus' words to an ordinary person just like you and me, so we can be rest assured that it's going to work for all of us. When Jesus strikes a conversation with an ordinary woman and gently confronts her about her immoral patterns, she gets a bit defensive and says that she is from a different religion, caste, and she worships God at a different location. This is like saying, I worship God in Himalayas, you worship God in another mountain, so you have a different God than me, I don't want to hear what you're saying. Then Jesus responds by saying, Yet a time is coming, and has now come, when true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For this is the kind of worshippers that the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshippers must worship in the spirit and in truth. In this passage, Jesus brings light to three simple facts about having a relationship with God. First, Jesus clarifies that the location of worship or religion should not become a barrier to come to God. This is very freeing. A relationship with God is open to all of us. Secondly, Jesus conveys that the orientation of this relationship is worship and in truth. Not to be confused with singing songs alone, but it is a heartfelt attitude to surrender to the truth. This is yielding to God's truth and not my own speculation. I'm sure anyone who is looking for a true relationship with God is willing to surrender to the truth. So this relationship is available for all who seek the truth. Then finally, the vehicle or the means. It is in spirit. This is a critical part that establishes unhindered live connection with God. It is a spiritual relationship experience at the deepest level of our being. For this to occur, we need God's Spirit to come and dwell within us. Just like an internal guru, we give God access to work from inside out as opposed to outside in. And then God will give us the peace of God that far surpasses inner peace. See, by default we have a dead connection or no connection with God due to our innate sinful nature. So we are spiritually dead, just like the disconnected refrigerator. We are unable to have God's power flow from within us. In order to seek the truth, we have to have the authenticity to acknowledge that we are unable to revive our own dead spirit. No amount of self-improvement techniques is able to revive the dead spirit. We definitely need God's intervention. Fortunately, compelled by love, God took extreme measures to revive our dead spirit. God paid the price for our deadness at the cross. Then God opened the door for His Spirit to come and revive our dead spirit. This is the way that God has designed to transition us from deadness to life. You may say, that's great, But how can this become real for me? This becomes real when we take a step of faith in God's way through Jesus. My dear friend, is this your moment? If you're a truth seeker who is able to acknowledge you need God's way to help you reconnect, then you can decide to take the step of faith. It is a choice you can make. My dear friends, God has done everything through Jesus to connect with you. The peace of God is waiting right at your doorstep. All that is required of you is to take a step of faith and ask God to come and live inside you so that you can work the problem inside out through God's help. Be encouraged and take the step of faith to receive peace of God, which far surpasses inner peace.